Well, what we're going to see now is pretty much a painting start to finish in airbrushing. And as you can see right now, I'm working on the wheels and tires. The whole entire car now is already sketched out with pencil, and I'm working on the wheels right now. These are a type of mag wheel that are used on stock cars, racing cars. The tires that you see are used for dirt track racing. Now this is a frisket, which is a piece of masking tape, very large piece of masking tape, and I'm just cutting it very precisely around the edge of the tire now. Now I very carefully pull it off, just making sure that I don't rip anything. We can't have any little bitty rips on the side because the spray will go underneath that. It can all be fixed, but it saves a lot of time if you get it right the first time. So now I take the airbrush out and I'll start painting the black parts of the wheel, which is the inside of the mag wheels. You won't see any color through there, so that's why I'm painting it black. I might have a little purple in it also. Now once again I'm removing the masking tape from another section. Now I'll be painting the sidewall, so I'm erasing all the pencil marks in there because I can kind of figure out where they are because they're real nice and light. So I want to spray this whole sidewall now with basically a gray. I am using a black paint, but I've mixed in some white with it just to give it a little bit of a gray tone. That's the fun part about airbrushing. You can really get your paint to work the way you want it to work. It takes a lot of experience. I mean, I'm self-taught in airbrushing. There weren't any books or videos out back in those days. I don't even think they had videos when I started working on airbrushing. So it can be done. And I would suggest anybody wanting to learn how to airbrush that they get a video and save a whole lot of time. Okay, now I'm pulling off the masking on the wheels, and as you can see down the black area of the mag is showing through. Now I'm going to go in with a brush and I'm going to start adding some of the details of the inside of the wheels. Got to have a pretty steady hand for this. Now I'm going to be removing another piece of masking tape, and then I'm going to paint the top part of the tire. Putting tape back on top of it, I'm going to cut it again so that the only thing that's revealed is the top part. And here I'm spraying it with a little bit of brown because of the dirt that's on the track makes the tire look brown. It's all in the tread. Now I'm doing the shadow part. The wheels are going to be painted red. That's the way the owner had the wheels on this car. Same color, match the colors. So I'm putting in some shadow into the wheels now. What do you see how this looks? There it is. because I painted the wheels, I had to block off the black again on the mag, so I'm just removing that. And there it is, there's the wheel. I think the wheel's all done. Now I'm pulling off the masking on the whole painting so you get a really good idea of what it looks like. Now I'm going to start working on the back tire and wheel. This big tape is really excellent for airbrushing. And once again, painting the brown part on the outside of the tire. And putting all the tread in by hand. This tape, like I said before, you can get this at a sign shop supplier. There's one up in Milwaukee. It's called the backing on vinyl lettering. For vinyl applications, they use this to put down the vinyl and then they remove it. So the tack on it is really, really low, but really good for working on board. And that's what I'm working on right now. I'm working on a crescent board. It's nice and flat. You can really get good details on it. There we go. And looks like the next hardest thing, well, the first hardest thing was to do the tires. If you get the tires wrong, you might as well quit and start all over. The next hardest thing will be the lettering, I think so. Yeah, looks like we're going to be going into actually painting the interior of the car. Painted that all a dark color. I'm not sure if it was straight black or I mixed colors in with it too. So that's getting removed. You can see that there's going to be a driver in the car. I actually used the guy who owns the car as the model. And now I'm working on the lettering, which is really intricate. And you can see that I have some magnifying glasses on because I need those once in a while to make sure that I get that really good cut. And it's really rough to do it this way, but I'm not very good at hand lettering like some of my friends are. That's why I go ahead and airbrush the whole thing. It's a little extra time put in on it, but I can't say that my quality on paint lettering is very good at all. Oh yeah, the owner of this car did not know that I was doing a painting of it. I was commissioned by his son to do it, and I went to Lodi, Wisconsin to take photographs of the car. His son took it out of his dad's garage while his dad was on vacation and shot some pictures of it. And then we started thinking about how we're going to do this. We're going to put it on a racetrack. That's what we're going to be doing. So here now I'm painting the red. The red's got some brown in it. I was trying to match the color as what I saw on the original. This is going to be a lot of fun once you see what this looks like after it's all painted. That's a bar that goes along. It was the same color. Matter of fact, the color on the lettering is like the coloring on the frame. And there we go. That's what it looks like before you take the masking off. And now we're taking the masking off. And this is really, really tense because you have to be careful not to rip the paint that's on there. Because it's very easy. If you just start ripping the paint, you stop. And then you try to get it down like I was doing right there. And just start pulling it off. There you go. And now you see that I was painting the framework on the car, the bars, the roll bars and everything. Started working on the engine. Another important part of this car was the engine. It was an old flathead motor. So I painted a bunch of black on a bunch of the shadows that are on the ground. Filled in all the areas that are really dark or black. Once again, pulling off all the masking is important. You don't want, if you're going to start spraying it, you don't want a piece of tape on there and spray over it and then find out that you got tape on it. I've done that. So there we are, tires and engine and lettering. That was the hard part. Now I'm starting to do the groundwork. Putting in all the mud flying around, that was fun. That was all done with brush. And splattering with toothbrushes, of course. Putting in the shadow underneath all the little things that were, all the little rocks and stuff that was flying around was really a lot of fun. So you can see I shadowed underneath every one of them. And it's kicking up the dirt right there on the front tire. Now the car in the back, Ron's father also was a stock car racer, and this is the car that he raced, which was a 39 Ford Coupe. And they had that photograph of it up above, and that's what I was using for my reference on it. So there they are together now. Ron and his father racing around the track. This is the importance of taking really good photographs. You just don't stop by taking one. You take multiples and multiples of photographs, and you try to get, like that engine was in the shadow of that hood, so I had to get in there with the light and light it up so I could see all the details on it. There's the dirt being flipped up. There'll be some more after I paint the car. I'll put some more flipping up on the body of the car. The wheels are done on his dad's car now. They were beautiful 1936 Ford wheels. I had so much fun painting those. And then that's the racetrack. I started working on that as they're going around a curve. I found some old pictures of racetracks back in the 50s, and they didn't have the great big protective walls that they have today. They were just picket fences, and people just stood around and watched them. Not a very good place to be on a curve, though, I'll tell you that. I've been on curves that are like Road America, and those cars don't stop because you're on the corner. And there's Ron in his car. He's not finished yet. He's all drawn in, and he'll be painted in a little bit. And there's the track. And there's Ron. He's painted. He's got his tinted glasses, and that's what it looked like after I had it framed. Delivered to the painting, and it was Ron's birthday, and they took him out to a restaurant and surprised him with the painting.